Yes, Khushi, we're excited to know how you do it all.
I'm a clown. I've learned how to juggle. But you don't. You never know how to balance it. Balancing is kabhi nahi hota. You make time
Yeah.
in whatever time you have. So it's I would say it's about prioritizing. And instead of scrolling on Instagram, you'd focus, okay, 5 minutes, let me make a piece of content. Okay, I have half hour, let me start working on that book or writing the next chapter, or even thinking about what I have to write in the next thing. And it's difficult, but I would say when you learn to set your priorities right, you start understanding that even if you have 5 minutes, it seems worthwhile, it feels useful. But there's no secret, and there's no like you tell me what to do and I'll follow it and I'll have all the time and I'll be able to balance my life. You can't with a child.
You can't. I so agree with you on this because it's such a, in fact, even this whole myth like, okay, balancing your life, my question is that who defines what's balance, right? In terms of how do you decide that 30% is what I'll do for this? And can you ever say, oh, I'll give my child 30% of my day? Or, what are you going to even actually divide your time? Or what is this balance that we're all trying to run after and therefore all the time feel so incomplete, right? So my thing is, I
Absolutely.
think one thing I've done, Khushi, is that I really don't stress over balance only. I don't know what balance, because it'll create a lot of stress on me. So I think what I work on is that whatever I'm doing, let me give my best. Now, does that mean I'm a balanced mom, a balanced writer, or a balanced, or entrepreneur? I don't know, but I know that if I'm here, I'm so completely here with you right now. If I'm
Correct.
with my baby, I will not have a thought of anyone else, anything else. And to me, that's balance. So,
Absolutely nailed it. Absolutely.
and the stress that we moms have been putting ourselves through to find this, you know, so-called balance, I don't think it exists. And whose balance? Like, I don't know what balance means, right? So, so moms, I think one amazing thing that's coming out of this is that just drop this word called balance itself, right?
Absolutely. Forget about it for till you have, I won't even say teenagers because that's a totally different game. But I would say just forget it till your child is married and out of the house. Forget about balance.
And like I stay with my dad. So like for him, even now he's like, at 70,
Correct.
I'm not sure if I can ever feel that, oh, I'm not a dad. So I think it's a lifelong thing till our last breath, right? So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
awesome, awesome. Yeah. So moving on to the next question. Big one.
Oh, big one. I have so many. Like if you there are so many myths. And it's crazy when you think about things because it could be a myth to one, but not a myth to another. And are we still recording?
Yeah. Is
Oh,
it?
I'm so sorry. I think something went wrong in the middle and I
Don't worry. Don't worry. It's okay. We're moms. We're allowed to have these bloopers.
Yeah, so coming back to the myth, there are so many, and not necessarily that a myth to me might be a myth to you. But one of the greatest myths that I would like to bust once and for all is the whole pressure that we put around on moms around bonding with your child. You, it's not how it looks in movies that when your child is born, she's out of your womb and you have that minute of bond, and then oh gosh, it's like bliss, you're in heaven. It's not that. It was not like that for me for sure. And it puts such a lot of pressure because you birthed a child. It's only a mother who has actually gone through it would know what it takes. Nobody else would ever understand that. And after that, everything is on you. And in that moment, there's so much of pressure that, oh, you will know exactly what your child wants. No, I don't know what my child wants. I still don't know what my child wants.
Yeah. And how old
And
is your child? How old is your
she's a year next week.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's crazy how it's crazy how you set that expectation for yourself throughout your pregnancy journey, like all throughout you're like, oh, it's so pretty, so cute, my baby's kicking, this is happening, that is happening, and then once the baby's out, it's like there's no connection. Like, yeah, you're a living being that I have to take home and go, and I don't know what I'm going to do next. But that pressure of bonding with your child instantly needs to be taken off completely. It's a total myth. I felt like a vending machine for the first month and a half at least. I felt my child came to me only when it needed something. Like I was food, I was clothing, shelter, everything you name it, and I was like a vending machine. And she would howl when she would be in my arms. And it somewhere it drives you crazy because the moment she would go into my husband's arms or into my in-laws' arms, she would be quiet.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm the mother. I'm feeding you. I'm keeping you alive. I'm up all night with you. I've not slept in like 30, 40 days. So what? Where's the connection? Where's the bond? But it grows over time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I've housed the baby for so long and all of that, great. But it's like, I would say it's like a relationship. I mean, some people fall in love at first
Yeah.
sight, but
Yeah.
how realistic is that?
Yeah, and to maintain that relationship still takes a lifetime. Like me and my husband fell in love in a like in one of those very filmy moments.
Movies.
18 years later, I can say, my God, like the amount we argue, disagree, and question things is like that's a lifetime journey, and it's always going to be like that, right? So yeah,
Absolutely.
that's a beautiful myth that you've, busted. And I think that's such a big one because honestly, I completely agree with it. I had I think, similar experience where I was reading up so much about that first moment when the child is born, and and people told me, it's like they put the baby on your belly, and it's like just the most beautiful thing. Now here's the hitch: I had to be on epidural because I
Hmm.
couldn't tolerate the pain. I mean, I didn't know how to, and I missed it. And in one
Right.
epidural, it wasn't enough, so they had to give me like a general, one where I went.
Correct.
So my baby was born on 11/24 at, on 11/11, and I saw her at around 1:30 or 2 for the first time. So
Correct.
I totally missed that. And luckily I didn't feel bad. Like I didn't really, it didn't matter to me. I think one more such a big myth, Khushi, that I have seen, and I really want to talk about this to moms is that, forget men, but I think moms also do this to each other so much. Like, till my pregnancy, it was like I was the center of the universe, right? Everything is about me. What do you eat? What do you do? Everything is like all about me. Now the babies come, and the question itself is, how's the baby doing? How's the little one doing? And I'm perfectly fine with you asking about that, but can you also ask about me? So I think one myth I want to bust over here for moms is that you don't cease to exist just because you've had a baby. Your life also continues, and you also continue as a wife and as a mother and as all the other roles you play. And I think, in fact, the mothers who are the most sane are the ones who remember that. So
Correct.
I think that's a big one. And one small funny one is that, and tell me if you experience this. I find it so annoying when people come and go on saying, oh, this baby looks exactly like you or like Arun. My thing is, can't, let's see, my daughter's name is Athyasa. She's going to be 18 months. And I'm like, can Athyasa not look like Athyasa? Why does she have to look like a Megha or an Arun, And it's so annoying. So have
Yeah.
you faced this, and isn't it
Oh, all
like,
the time.
yeah,
All the time. So my husband doesn't stay with us right now. Like he's on education and work in Dubai, and so we are like since the past 4 or 5 months we're like, I'm in India, he's there, and up and down keeps happening. And everybody's be like, oh, I know you miss him, but Tiana, our daughter, she's a carbon copy of him, so you should not be missing him enough. I mean, like as much. And I'm like,
uh, how does that equal up? Or like,
Hello. It's like that's her identity. She's not a Ryan and a Kush, I mean, or a Khushie. That's her identity. It's fine. Uh, she's not going to look like ABC or XYZ or some other actress or something,
can
right? It's
she
our
not
baby.
just be herself? I mean,
Yeah.
my whole thing is like, all my life growing up, I was told I look like my mom. I look like my mom. And my mom used to always tell me that, oh, I used to look very pretty, but now I don't look good. So I used to look very pretty. So in my mind, I built up this thing that, okay, I don't know, like so many doubts. Why
Correct.
and for what? Like, I've literally said 10 people, she's an Athyasa. She looks like
Yeah.
Athyasa. Please
Even one
stop
more thing
putting this
around this.
pressure. Yeah.
Right. Even one more thing around this whole thing, like she looks like this. There are like so many people that say, oh, if you look like your father, if a daughter looks like the father, she's gonna have a very happy life, like future. And I'm like, if I look like my mom, am
Okay.
I not going to?
It's like from where do these things come up and like,
I
and
have no clue. It's
we
it's
buy
funny and
into it. We just buy. Oh, one more, sorry, but one more big
yeah,
one,
please.
that I think I'm getting really excited about it, that the first thing you eat when are pregnant, when you wake up, is what color your baby will be, I've heard this, okay? So people
Ah,
are like, have coconut milk and have like, and I used to wake up and have black prunes, okay? And and my child's turned out, the way she is, I love her, but actually she's
exactly.
got a fair skin which has nothing to do with the prune. So please, mom, stop killing yourself over this rubbish, It's like, if she looked like a prune, I'd love her the same, So please.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I think these are things that need to really be talked about more. I'm wondering how much justice we'll do in this 11-minute bite, but let's get going.
We
Yes,
can have a whole another one just for this.
absolutely. So what's it for you?
I would clearly say for me, it was the first time I ever breastfed my daughter in public.
Wow.
The feeling is different. It's I would say especially because I would say in India, it's
Yeah.
still not a very welcome um thing to
Yeah.
breastfeed your child in public.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, there's so much stigma, there's so much I don't know, there's such a lot of constraint around this when it's just you're feeding your child. What is your child supposed to eat? Like my daughter, especially, she never took to a bottle at all. So for me, it was either I take her out and I breastfeed her, or I stay at home. And trust me, initially I was skeptical about going out and feeding and all of that. But after one point, I thought that for how long am I going to just sit at home? I need to go out. I need to continue with my life, right? And there was this day when I had gone outside. We were in this restaurant. It was a Sunday brunch. It was a packed restaurant. And I was out with my friends actually. We had taken her out for the first time, and I was out with my friends. And I was like, okay, Chateau Mama, come on. You're hungry. We're just going to sit down here, whip out your food, eat.
Yeah.
And of course, I had covered up and stuff, and there were
Obviously, that's
waiters
not.
around me waiting, tables. And though I did send my husband, very coyly, I sent my husband, can you please ask them in case I need to breastfeed her, where do I go? Like I did because I didn't know. I mean, most places don't have feeding rooms.
Yeah.
And I remember he went up to the head chef because he was walking around, and the head chef said, just wherever you are seating, big deal, wherever you want to. And the guy was so cool and calm about it. And I feel that is more important because you'll find women staring more than men.
Absolutely. Really. That was such a brilliant one. I mean, I've not done it, but look, yeah, I've not done it, and it's so empowering just to hear it, right? But
Right.
amazing. So for me, I think it was when, so she was born in November, and in December, I'd won an award in Pune and I had to go. So I left like for a day, and I
Right.
had to also stay the night because it was a night award. There's only that much
Correct.
I've done.
Correct.
And there was this tussle in me that, okay, after it gets over, just sit in the car and come back. Okay. And whatever. And she was anyway on formula as well as my milk. So that was not the concern. I was
Correct.
just like, you know what? Like, I'm going and meet at a friend's house after the award. It's okay if I don't come back the same night. And it's okay if I take some time, eat my breakfast and leave. And just to let myself know that she'll be okay and nothing will happen and nothing will, I won't be a bad mother. I think it
Right.
relieved that first time when you do it. And then you're like, dude, that is so important for your well-being. And ever since, every now and then I take my night outs, I take small trips. Honestly, mothers, I mean, especially, I think I come back feeling like a much better mother versus
Oh,
non-stop,
absolutely.
24 hours watching her. She's not watching me 24 hours. What am I doing over here? I'm not some helicopter, right? So, yeah, so it was very empowering. And I felt like, life's worth it. Like I can still be me. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I had a similar moment when I had come to Bombay for the Coldplay concert.
Yeah.
And so we did a very funny thing. Everything was packed out, right? All the hotels were packed out, and we attended it on the first day.
Hmm.
So we were staying at this hotel, which was 4 hours away from the stadium. It took
Wow.
us 4 hours in the peak traffic to reach the stadium.
Wow.
And
You could
as
have
you
come from
enter the
Pune to Bombay in that.
yeah, actually, we're thinking is that if I had just come from Pune,
It
it
would
would
be
have been like
fine.
shorter. It would have been like 2 hours. And I did leave her with my mom-in-law at the hotel, and we went my husband and I went for the concert. And as you enter the stadium, sorry, as you enter the stadium, your network cuts off. There's no
Yeah.
network over there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh gosh, now what am I going to do? So then I actually just waited. I said, if there is an emergency, what am I going to do? It's going to take me 4 hours to go back. I can't do
Absolutely.
anything. So just forget about it. And you won't believe it, Megha, that one evening for those 3 hours, I never thought about her even once. Like that feeling was like, this is my moment with my husband. And it doesn't have
Fine.
her in it right now, and that it kind of made us also realize that that's really important.
It is.
Like we keep speaking about baby coming into your relationship and things like that, but in that moment when you cut and you're able to compartmentalize, it's important, and that also feels really really empowering, because it makes you feel that your relationship with your partner is, if not more, at least at par with your relationship with your daughter or your
Sweet.
child.
Such a beautiful one. In fact, I want to share something beautiful that, like, I have a guru called Mahatre, and he said that, like, say, when a child comes in, it's so important that, say, the husband and the wife get a lot of quality time. The child gets a lot of quality time with the mother alone, also, as a father alone, also, and then as a unit. In fact, that forms the healthiest bonds, because there will be, once, our children grow up, they will have things that they'll want to talk to, you and maybe not to Ryan, and that's perfectly fine.
Correct.
A lot of
Absolutely.
couples feel that we should either always be like as a unit. So I'm very clear, like mornings, Arun takes Athyasa and I'm not in the picture, and that's their bonding time. There are times
Correct.
when me and Arun step out and we're okay. It doesn't have to be all the time about the child. And there are times where it's me and Athyasa and I don't want Arun into the picture. And I think that's a thing that I wish all couples and all families do, because it lead to so much healthier bonds, right? Going forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, wonderful. Yes, what's so the next question? Oh yeah, big one.
Big one, big one. Um, First and foremost, I would say the biggest thing that I have learned through this entire 1 year's journey is, when you say guilt, it's basically you're doing something wrong. Like guilty as charged. You are wrong. You're doing something wrong. Wanting to not be with your child, or wanting a break for your from your child, and just having that time for yourself is your right. It's not something that you should actually feel guilty about, but we mothers, we feel guilty about everything. Like there are days, I'll kid you not, there are days when I have wanted to keep her down, go to the loo, have a shower. And she's howling and howling and howling. And then I have felt so guilty about it that I cuddle her, and then I literally have said, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't have an option. I had to go and use the loo. I was going to for sure leave you out of it.
Yeah.
And then there are times when I'll be gobbling my food up because my mom-in-law is taking care of my child. Why
Yeah.
should I trouble her? But she's there, she's helping me. And it took me so long to just come to terms with that.
I
Going
might.
out, like I would go out and I would constantly be on pins thinking about her. What is she doing? I would be messaging my mom-in-law like 1 million times while I'm out. There were times when she would just be like, I will message you and I will call you if there is something. You need to stop.
Yeah.
Because I was feeling guilty of leaving her and going.
Yeah.
And now that I have started working on it, I've started realizing that it's not it. I don't need to feel bad about it. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm living the life that I've had, and I have to continue living it. She's just another block in the whole picture. It's like your life has to still continue. And gosh, but that rock of guilt, it becomes this big because we as mothers tend to make it like, if it is itna chota pebble na, we'll chalo aur bada banate hain, and it will become like such a big thing on your head, and then finished.
I'm actually like tearing up right now because there's something that happened to me like just yesterday where I was down in the society and I'd entered with my brother and my daughter seeing him after a long time. So she was like holding the hand of the nanny and moving away from, my brother because she was shy and it'll take her 2 minutes. And there
Correct.
was someone who was watching this whole thing and she's like, oh, so your child feels more secure with her nanny than you. I can't tell you, like, my heart just stopped for a moment because, like, I know what I do for my child every single moment. Like, I know what she means to me, and I know what. And I felt so stupid, Khushi, because I actually explained myself to her that time. It was just a reflex, and I was like, she's actually meeting my brother after a long time, so she's shying away. And almost to prove a point, like, I took a Tyasa, and obviously she just jumped to me. But when I came home, I felt so terrible. I was like, what did I just do? Why do I need to prove to anyone what that baby means to me? Or, I never want to do that again. Like, I just promised myself in my head that I'm never going to explain myself as a mom, and so much we explain, like, even to our husbands, to be honest, right? Like, I mean, I want to say this out aloud to all the moms, and I'm sure, Kush, you would agree that a lot of men, and especially with girl daughters, they're not equipped to handle their crying. At least for Arun, he goes a little ballistic when Athyasa cries. So the minute she cries, he's like, just give her no, just do whatever. And I have a certain way of doing things, right? And the guilt I go through that, oh, I made my child cry or I did something. And you know what? I mean, crying is her expressing herself till the time she can speak. If I can just realize and normalize crying, and if all of us as mothers, your child will cry. If they don't cry, there's something wrong with the child.
Exactly,
Let the
exactly.
child cry. Like, it's okay. Like, literally, Khushi, so I work from home. I used to have this thing, like, the minute I hear her cry, I'll run and I know she's safe. In fact, a mother gets tuned into the child's cry. And I know it's safe. It's just a tantrum or it's just fun or it's just screeching. I would run. I would run. I would run. And then I built this mental thing. It's such a simple tool. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to count till 20 and see.
Hmm.
If she's still crying, maybe she needs me and I'll go. If not, and you won't believe it, 90% of the times, by the time I'm done with 15, she's already moved on and doing something else. So please, moms, let's not kill ourselves, yeah. And
One more, Megha, at least this is what I have, like, because you spoke about somebody telling you about like pinpointing, right? Um, there are times when I was like at a family event, okay, and I had like all my relatives around me, and I'm the mother. Okay, you see me as a child as yet, but I'm a mother. At my age, you had two. I have one.
Yeah.
So the moment Thea would cry, they would say, "Oh, she's hungry. Give her some milk." And I would say, "No, she has fed. It's not her feeding time. I know my child. I know when she needs her milk. Are she's crying, give her milk. Are she's crying, give her milk." And they would put so much pressure around me not feeding my child as if I was starving my child, that there was this time when I actually broke down at an event. I took my husband to the side and I said, "I need to go home. I can't do this. I know it's a family event. Please tell them that I am not okay and we need to leave. It's not okay. It's not okay for you to decide what's okay for my child and make me feel like crap after that. It's not okay.
And
Like who
it's
are you
like,
to decide? I know my child. I know the cues. And
exactly.
it's like that's when my husband actually, took a stand and he said that if she's a child, she's going to cry. That's the only way she's going to express herself. And then we were like, okay, let's like not, because of course it would turn out into a big scene and things like that. We said, okay, we're just gonna calm it. We're just gonna go for a walk. I went out, took a stroll with him, enjoyed with our daughter. She was giggling, happy, bouncing around, and we just got them back just to prove a point that look, it was not the milk, it was just a change of atmosphere, and there are so many people around you. What do you expect a
You
6 month
advising,
baby to do?
it's you over advising that's stressing the child. Just keep your gobs shut, the child will be happy.
Exactly. Gosh, gosh.
And
But
imagine
I
you're
think
talking
somewhere we
about
need.
it, and this it's happening to every mother. Like I'm just every time you're saying something, I'm like, that's me, that's me, that's me, right? And everyone's going through it, but no one's like okay to admit it or work on themselves. It's like, okay, it's just
Exactly.
something like it's a part of the whole thing, right? Ha, I'm so glad we're doing this.
Oh, absolutely. Wow, self-care. I think I have an entire career around this now. But I'll tell you something, for someone like me, I'm a lot of women go through postpartum depression, and I was one of them as well. And I got so intertwined into taking care of my daughter that I forgot to take care of myself. And there was this time when um, I was doing it all, but I was feeling insufficient, right? Because I was not taking care of me. I was definitely not taking care of my mental health. And there came a point where I had such a bad panic attack that I broke down completely. Like I was hysterical. I was in tears. I had to give my daughter away to my mom-in-law. My husband was sitting on the floor, hugging me tight, calming me down. And all I could tell him was, "I feel like I'm going to die." And he said, "What's happening? What has happened? Why is something so aggressive?" And like nobody will see that it's piling and piling and piling and piling and piling and piling, and it's come here and now it's down there. Everybody will think it's like the moment, it's happening
Yeah,
right now. But
yeah.
that's not true. It's something that has been weighing on you, weighing on you. And this is basically like that last stick or the last straw that makes the whole thing crumble. And that was when I put my foot down and I decided for myself, I need help. I need medical advice. I need, if not full-fledged therapy, because I was not able to venture full through and through into it, but I did meet with doctors. I did start on medication. I had to work on consciously taking out time for myself, even if that meant giving my daughter away for an hour or two to somebody to take care of and just getting out of the house. Like you have to take care of yourself. And everything takes a beating when this happens. Your creativity stops. You're not able to work. You're not able to do anything. You're not able to think right. And you start losing your self of identity. Any which ways, after you become a mother, you feel like it's not you anymore.
Yeah.
And to top it all, when you completely neglect even that small bit of who you are, it makes you crash. Like I still remember, like I'm not one to apply makeup and things like that unless I'm going outside or I have some real cause to do. But I remember when I just started working on myself again, say a month and a half postpartum, I remember applying makeup to just go down or just go to the nearby cafe to grab a cup of coffee, even if it was 30 minutes of outside time, I would still do a tad bit of light makeup and go. And because that is something that it would resonate with something that is happy, going out and being excited about life. And you have to start working on it. And especially being in a career like mine where I advise people to do it, I was like on a backbender. Like for me, it was like
Yeah.
I was the biggest hypocrite. I took such a huge gap from my own career after that. Like, how can I preach if I don't practice, in that sort of way? But I can't stop laying emphasis on how important self-care is. You can't neglect yourself, especially your mental health. It's crazy because mothers go through this, and you will go through it for years and even not know that you're going through it.
Yeah.
Like, you'll have slumps where you will not want to get out of bed and you'll think, oh, I'm just tired, but you're not. You're going through it. And taking care of mental health is extremely important because of that.
So beautiful. I'm like so in resonance. So for me, I think I was blessed enough to not go through any postpartum depression. And the reason for that was Khushie had taken so much care of myself for many, many years. Like I've been into yoga, I've been into meditation, I've been into journaling and writing and, healing. I think that's what helped me stay so cool and calm through a lot of it. And Raju is like, testimony to this. In 2 weeks of having delivered Atyasa, I was back to work, back and not to prove anything because I felt ready. And because I work from home, of course, also, I was back to yoga in 3 weeks of having delivered her because I
Lovely.
just felt that I needed that body mind connection again. Like I just needed to be one with my breath. I needed to know who I am without her also. Literally, you go a little crazy the first few days. It's so many changes and you're making sense of it all. And I think I would just want to emphasize like, simple tools like meditation or yoga or like just walking in the grass. And like you said, like just dressing up and putting your makeup just makes you feel like a semblance of your old self again. And I don't want to feel like that. Like I don't want to feel like I want to feel like she's added so much to me. And I think one more thing I've come to realize is that our children are going to become so much, they're picking up so much from us. So if I don't take care of who I am, I know Atyasa is not going to realize the value. When she becomes a mother, she'll also forget herself. And I don't want to lay that as an example, right? I want to tell her, you matter, till your last breath, no matter how many relationships get added to you. So, yeah, moms, I think
Absolutely.
so important. Any like quick tip that you feel really, really works to, help?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Actually, two, three, but I would say the one that really helps me is affirmations. I can't begin to tell you how that works on a subconscious level. And of course, journaling. I
Yeah.
mean, I know we don't have that much time, especially as a mom, and that's where our best friend, the mobile phone, comes into picture. But even if that means opening up your notes and just writing one thing that you are grateful for the day, that's more than enough.
Yeah.
Like, I can't begin to tell you how that helps and how that actually makes you pause, because there are days when you have chaos. Like, I have days when I've spent 24 hours with my child just crying and screaming in my face and wanting to be held, but I will still pause for a few seconds once she's asleep to think, what was my hurrah moment in all of that. It's very difficult to come up with them, and as you practice it will build.
Yeah.
But it does help. And I know we don't have a lot of time for meditation. I mean, to be very honest, in this 1 year I must have barely meditated say 2 or 3 times, not more than that. I just don't have the time on my hand. But short short periods of time where you can just sit and quickly in your mind think of a happiness circle where you're around, you're covered in light, your baby is with you, your husband, your partner, your family, whoever's with you, and just think about a joyful day or a joyful moment. That is something that really uplifts you. And these things, they start working on your subconscious, and once they work on your subconscious, is when it helps you. And that's exactly where, where you were helped, because you've been practicing it since such a long time. For me,
Literally, at my subconscious level, I know that if I can't be happy, I'm not going to pass happiness. In fact,
correct,
I had this one spell where she was unwell for 40 days, where either she was vomiting, or she
Mhm.
was pooping, or she was having fever, which is 104. And I'm not used to that. Like it's a
Correct,
first baby,
absolutely
and
not.
was this crazy, right? And she's a tiny baby anyway. So like, oh, she's lost more weight. I was like, where is the weight
Yeah,
to lose, And I think the only thing that kept me going for me, of course, is meditation. Like, even through it all, I would just be like, Arun, now, Vana, you need to be with her completely.
correct.
I'm going to take time, because unless I charge, I'll also be ill. Then who's going to take care of me?
Exactly,
Oh,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I know, I know. So that's something really good, when you start working along with especially your partner and understanding that no, this is what I want. So we did a similar thing like that where you earlier mentioned that any small cue and she would cry and you would be like alert that I need to go and help her.
Yeah.
So that used to happen with me a lot initially in the night time. I would be awake the whole night listening to every coo that she would do and not sleep. And that's when that started actually taking a toll on my health. Like I lost drastic weight. Like when I say drastic weight, I mean about 6 kilos over my pre-pregnancy weight, and that
Wow.
was really unhealthy for me. So I'm on that journey of gaining weight again right now, and people would be like, oh, you've bounced back after pregnancy so well, your body looks so good, Arit, give us also tips. And I just tell them, I hope you don't do the same rubbish that
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know, it's basically not taking care of myself that has led to this. It's nothing great, it's nothing to be happy about. And that's when my husband actually started sleeping with my daughter in another room. Like it's
Yeah.
something that we started doing. It was a little weird. Even our family found it weird that how are you all not sleeping in the same bed with your daughter or in the same room.
Yeah.
I said, because I need that. I need that. And that's when my healing actually also started happening, because I was able to get that uninterrupted rest for, even if it was for 2 hours. He had to bring her back every 2 hours for a feed, but I was getting that uninterrupted rest for that period. So I would feed, he would pick her up, burp her, change her diaper, take her back. And that's how we like shared the weight through the nights. And ask
Mhm.
us today, yeah, we really missed out on 8 to 10 months of time together.
It's
But
okay.
at the end of the day, it was worth it. It was
Yeah.
something that we would do all over again if we have to.
Absolutely.